Lando Norris has impressed many in Formula One world with his standout performances in recent seasons, performing well enough to pretty much put Daniel Ricciardo to bed. No one doubts his potential to be among the best. However, it's no secret that even the world's greatest drivers need a suitably strong car in order to fulfill potential. Mechanically and developmentally speaking, the last 2 seasons have not been good for McLaren, and if all pre-season signs are anything to go by, it doesn't seem like things will get any better this year. Why is McLaren's progress stalling? Why is Norris getting so impatient with the situation on the team? Basically wishing the next 2 years away. It may sound ridiculous, but stick around to find out why, despite all of this, McLaren are actually on track to be champions by 2025. In order to answer these questions, let's look at McLaren's performance in recent seasons. McLaren is the team that has previously impressed the most in F1's midfield. The working-based team has been on a 3-year upward trajectory from the 9th place finish in the Constructors' Championship in 2017 to 3rd in 2020. However, they dropped to 4th place in the standings in 2021 and even further in 2022, finishing 5th, losing out to Alpine in the battle to be the best of the rest behind Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes. Certainly the 2022 season was probably one that every McLaren fan would like to forget because of the stalled progress and poor performances, which were partly caused by the less competitive car compared to the 2021 car. Norris' early years in Formula One coincided with McLaren's sharp upward trajectory to the top of the midfield. He even established himself as a semi-regular podium finisher in 2021, so the outcome of the 2022 season must have been a disappointment to him. So before we uncover Lando's impatience at McLaren, what does Norris himself have to say about last year's performance? While talking about the performance in an interview, Norris said, "If I think of before this season, did we achieve in 2022 what we should have done at McLaren? Honestly, it's no. It's just we need a slightly better car, that's all." And it's clear that Lando is becoming increasingly impatient at McLaren, as his recent statements have revealed. To some, his impatience may not be overly surprising. Lando signed a long-term contract extension with McLaren in early 2022 that will see him leave the team at the end of 2025. It was the faith that he had in McLaren's project that made him commit to the team for a long time. He even turned down a race seat at Red Bull. However, since Lando signed the contract extension, nothing really has changed at McLaren. In fact, their form has just dipped more, and Andrea Stella, the former team principal, is believed to head the project, but abandoned it for a leadership role at Alfa Romeo. While talking about his stalled progress at the team, Lando stated, "I have a drive, and I do want to win now. I do want the team to do better now. We should be able to win championships. We soon will have. I would say everything is in place in order to do so." He admits that they are currently not in a position to win races and compete with the current top 3 teams, but he is optimistic about their future potential. "The main thing is, I still have excitement for what I know is to come in the future. And if I think how quickly the past 4 years have gone, hopefully these next few can come quickly at the same time. Especially 2024, and then even more so 2025. That excitement kind of hides a little bit of patience that I need to have. I'm probably not the most patient guy in life, but it's something you need to learn to have when you get to Formula One," said Lando. Well, Lando's statements are the first of several indications that he is dissatisfied with their current performance. The team stumbled in 2022 due to the introduction of new technical regulations. But now that the sport is entering the second year of these regulations, can McLaren build on previous learnings, possibly climb back up the constructor standings? Well, if we are to go by what happened at their car launch, then this won't be the case. In fact, McLaren looks more vulnerable to slipping behind another midfield team such as Aston Martin than it does to closing on the likes of Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes. So what happened at McLaren's car launch? McLaren's 2023 Challenger, the MCL60, was revealed on February 13th at a live event at the McLaren Technology Centre in Woking. The car marks the team's bold new engineering direction, especially with its new Red Bull-inspired side pod design. While talking about the new car, team principal Andrea Stella said, "Assessing our performance last year and looking at competitors, we identified multiple areas of opportunity. The good news is that pretty much all of them have been addressed. We are happy, not entirely happy with the launch car, but optimistic that we should take a good step soon. In terms of performance, expectations, we remain realistic for the short term." Stella's statements left many surprised as they suggested a lack of short-term confidence in 2023 car. Stella went ahead to further back his statements by saying, "While we are happy with the development of the car in most of the areas, there are some areas in which we realise some really strong directions a little too late. I just invoke realism. Normally, you need to be totally on top of what you can do to achieve your targets." So what do Stella's revelations about the MCL60 mean for McLaren and Norris? Well, the team principal statements broke the already bleeding hearts of McLaren fans who are hopeful for a better 23 season in which they could get to see a strong performances, put Norris and McLaren back on track, contend for titles. However, the statements point towards a challenging start to the season for the team. Losing performance, they haven't been able to fully capitalise on developments. While it's difficult to determine just how far behind the team it is as a result, it suggests McLaren is at least starting the year with a more basic version of some key elements of this car. The team has, however, said that there will be significant early season developments that are expected in the car in order to catch up on the developments it's behind on. But these developments are expected to come in the fourth race of the season, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, at the end of April. There are some other areas of the car that will be impacted in developments in early stages of the season, Stella said during the launch. It is precisely these weights that are making Norris grow increasingly impatient with the team. In his statements, Lando spoke very highly about McLaren's future potential. What exactly has Lando seen in McLaren's future that makes it worth enduring poor performances now? Well, currently McLaren has an infrastructure weakness and they don't have their own wind tunnel. They use an outdated Toyota wind tunnel in Cologne, Germany. They're also using their very first simulator, which is way behind in technology compared to those of its competitors. These are some of the main factors that are compromising their ability to fight for the championship, but this is expected to change by the end of this year, when a new wind tunnel and simulator, both in the final stages of development, will start operating. Unfortunately for the MCL60, these new developments will have less impact on it as the impact is extended to be felt on the 2024 car and even more so on the 2025 car to a greater extent. Norris acknowledges the need to wait for these developments to be phased in and when they will be fully effective. "I have the patience and the time to kind of wait out these next few more years. Still only 23, and I feel like I've got many years still to go. 2025 is potentially the year where we can be in a position to really fight for things. I guess it's tough because I'm a competitive guy and I want to win." So of course, at times you think, what could you do to get into that position earlier? But also, I'm very comfortable with where I am now. I have a good confidence in the team. If I didn't, then maybe my mindset would be different. It's a long way away, but we'll see how the progress can be this season. How we can do at the end of the season when we can get things in the new wind tunnel, start to get our first idea. 2024 and 2025 are when you should start seeing some bigger change. It's clear that McLaren is putting all their hopes on the 2025 season, but will the already impatient Norris wait for 2 more seasons so they can fight for the championship? What if the team doesn't show any progress this season? If you enjoyed this video, you're going to want to watch the video on your screen right now.